And there they were, meeting just 4 weeks ago, and Brady said to Tebow on that occasion after the game, you know what, I think we're going to see you again. 1 month later, here they are, Broncos and Patriots, and the divisional round coming up here on CBS. The 1 seed against the 4 seed. The Patriots in this position for the 2nd straight year. And Steve Tasker is with us tonight down on the sideline. Steve?
Champ, you played these guys in Week 15 in Denver and you lost to them. What has changed about the Denver Broncos that's going to make a difference tonight?
More passion, more execution. Plain and simple.
Good luck, Champ. Have a great week. Have a great game. Good luck the rest of the way. Jim, Phil?
All right, a little more passion, says Champ. And again, back up here in the booth with Phil. The weather. The wind chill right now, 8 degrees and dropping rapidly. But the main thing here, really, it's about the gust. Wind gust up to 20. What a difference that'll make tonight.
Well, it could have a factor in the game. But, of course, with field goal tries, maybe the coaches will not be, they'll be more reluctant to try them. But the quarterbacks, watching them both warm up with the wind, I thought they handled it very well.
Denver actually won the coin flip, and as usual, John Fox defers. He's going to put the ball right away in the hands of that Patriots offense that's put up at least 30 points in 12 of the 16 games this year, including 41 against the Broncos back on December the 18th. So Prater will kick it. Danny Woodhead is back deep in the end zone along with Matthew Slater. This is returnable, but better idea is to take a knee, says Woodhead. So Brady and company set up at the 20. In Brady's illustrious career, only one team has a winning record against him, and that would be Denver. Denver 6-2 all-time, including postseason, against Brady and the Patriots. Here's the line. Mankins, he's had those back concerns, missed the last 2 games of the regular season. He's up today and healthy. Hernandez had a monster performance in that game a month ago. He had 9 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown. They begin with Green Ellis, the deep back, out of the eye. Hernandez lined up as his fullback. Brady looks at a second option. It's Green Ellis wrestled down by Mays and Williams after a gain of 8. And we've got an update. James Brown has the story.
Hey, Jim, here's how San Francisco pulled it out, trailing 32-29. Alex Smith drills a bullet to the tight end, Vernon Davis. 14-yard strike. San Francisco goes up and wins it by the score 36-32. Vernon Davis, 7 catches for 180 yards, 2 touches. Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Wow, breathtaking game there. And back we go on 2nd and short. And Green Ellis has the first down before he's wrapped up by the safety, David Bruton. A gain of 5. This Denver defense. Up front, Ayers off a 2-sack game of Roethlisberger last week. Williams, one of only 2 Broncos who was in the playoffs the last time Denver had been in the postseason before this year. Champ Bailey the other, and here they go with another first down catch. It's Gronkowski in a game.
New England, how about the coverage by Joe Mays? You've got to be all over him. Tom Brady said, I didn't take advantage of him enough the first game. I think he'll try tonight.
And that is Hernandez running with it and getting free inside the 30. Hernandez cuts back to the 10 and takes it all the way to the 7. A 43-yard run that began a little shaky. He bobbled it at first.
Yeah, he got out there quick, but how about that? Your tight end, what do you think of him? You make him the running back, and when Tom Brady is in a hurry-up offense under the center, it's going to be a run. They just didn't expect it to be to the tight end.
And they hurry to the line on 1st and goal. And Brady with time, end zone, yes! Touchdown New England in less than 2 minutes. It's Welker with the catch.
Shoot, the fans haven't even had a chance to sit down and get into the game. But this is how they looked on Friday in practice. Watch the little pump fake to the left. There's nobody in the middle. And Wes Welker, who had a tough time against Chris Harris out in Denver, wins the first battle today near the goal line.
Welker caught 4 balls in the game out on the Mile High City, which is very low for him off of a 122 catch season. Gostowski has made 270 consecutive point afters and knocks it through for 271. New England had only one opening drive touchdown in its last 12 regular season games, but man, did they make it look easy here in the start. Welker from Brady, 7-0. Brady with a touchdown pass in his 18th consecutive playoff game. And you know, people might be saying at home, wait a minute, you win the coin flip and you decide to kick it at New England and give it to Brady and the Patriots at the start. Is that a good decision?
Yes, it is. That's the way John Fox coaches. That's what's got him to this game, so you don't change who you are at the coin flip today.
He always defers. It's Willis coming up at the 7. Got it across the 20. And Tebow will be coming out to the 23. How about that touchdown play?
Hey, look, it was 2 mistakes in the drive by Denver. Here is Wes Welker, covered by Chris Harris. They double-team Julian Edelman. Now, why would you double-team him? And they pick inside Gronkowski. That's enough to give Wes Welker that time. He gets under for the touchdown. 2 times. Hurry-up offense. 2 big plays, 2 mistakes by the Denver defense.
From the 24, they'll mark it. McGahee, the running back. Gets the handle. And fights through a couple of hits and somehow managed 5 out of nothing. Tebow coming off a career high, 316 yards. Actually set some records last week for playoff numbers, including most yards per attempt, most yards per completion, 31 yards per completion last week. You just called this on our opening, the best offensive line in the league. Holstein at right guard filling in for Cooper has done a good job, the former Patriot. And Thomas was over 200 receiving, including that winner from 80 yards out in overtime. 2nd down and 5, and they drop Tebow back 5 yards from the shotgun. Going to lob it over the top of that defense, and Eddie Royal was trying to run after it, incomplete, but Forty was with him. Kyle Love was putting some pressure on Tebow. This is the 31st ranked defense in the NFL. Wilford, the longtime veteran, heading back to the Pro Bowl this year for the 4th time. Spikes, a teammate of Tebow's at Florida. And in that secondary, Chung, who missed half the season this year with knee injuries. Limited in practice, but he's up and starting, and that's a big thing for this Patriot defense. It's settling in here, trying to defend on 3rd and 5. Tebow. Love is after him. He shakes free. He could take off and run for it. And he's got the 1st down out to the 43. That's a scramble for 13 by Tebow.
And he went to his left. To me, sometimes the worst thing you can do is flush Tim Tebow out of the pocket. That time, Dederick was the right defensive end. Lets him get around the left side. When you flush him out, listen, that's when he's still the most dangerous. He's going to run the football, but he does look down the field to some fast wide receivers to maybe get a big play.
He ran for 93 yards in the first matchup against the Patriots, their leading rusher. Inside, and there's a hole for McGahee to the New England side, to the 38. And McGahee with a couple of impressive early runs, this one for 19.
Well, let's just watch. When you watch it go this way, watch the linebacker on the backside. That is Spikes. Nobody's there for the cutback. I'm sorry, it was Gerard Mayo, number 51. So he over-pursued. When you play this running attack, all I've heard from every coach, be disciplined, don't chase, do your job.
1st down, New England 38. Lance Ball, the running back, and he has it. For only 2. I noticed on that last snap that Devin McCourty dropped back to safety in that secondary for the Patriots, and that's something you saw in practice this week.
Look, you see a lot of things in practice when you watch New England. We know how versatile they are. They move their defensive players around a lot. Devin McCourty, we talked to him, Jim. He likes his safety position because when I'm back here, I can see everything. And big physical guy can make the tackles when he needs to.
They've got Sterling Moore, the rookie from SMU, also in the secondary now. 2nd down and 8. Tebow play action, and he's hit. The ball is out. The ball is out at the 42. He got hit by Ninkovich, and the Patriots have the recovery. Tebow lost a fumble against him the first time. Ninkovich fumbles, and Tebow's college teammate Spikes has the recovery.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint, all football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by the Ford F-150, available with the efficiency and power of EcoBoost.
So, a giveaway by the Broncos. Tebow hit by Ninkovich, and Spikes with the recovery. And the Brady bunch is back out here at the 41, fresh off a drive that lasted less than 2 minutes for a touchdown. Again, they got Hernandez lined up next to the quarterback. They'll motion him out of there now on a wing to the right. And Brady has an open man in the middle. And that is Welker with yet another grab. This one for 8.
Well, let's go back, Jim. Look at the fumble. Here's Ninkovich down here. Orlando Franklin, watch his helmet as he leans forward. It gets him off balance, and that's enough for Ninkovich to get around, make the sack, hit, and fumble.
Last week, they were not sacked, talking about the Broncos. They did not have a giveaway in that game. It was a clean game, but on their first series today, the sack fumble sets up the Patriots down.
Taking his time, making sure the protection is right.
Second carry now for Hernandez. Makes a nice move and slices back for a first down. He's got 5 more and onto the Denver side of the field.
Well, of course, Jim, this is a fumble. The football is never going forward. In fact, you see it's going back the whole time. Very clean, no decision. John Fox didn't even think about challenging that fumble.
New set of downs as Hernandez looking strong as a running back. Beat him as a receiver the first time around. And that's Gronkowski off a record season with a catch for about 4. Get real-time scores, live video, breaking news on your phone. Get the free app. Simply call *CBS from your mobile device or go to cbssports.com/mobile.
New England keeps you so off balance. It's hard to get a pass rush. It's the quick plays, the quick passes. Tom Brady sees blitzes. He changes his pass protection, gets time, and then he can really hurt you down the field.
He's got a 2nd and 6. Got it over to Hernandez. The blockers in front, and another new set of downs at the 32. That one good for 10.
Tom Brady, this is a blitz beater. He sees that they're going to come. There's nobody back behind. The defense look at everybody at the line of scrimmage, trying to give him a different look. He does not care. Let's release the left tackle. Don't block the outside guy. Throw a screen. Another first down.
So Hernandez had that 9-catch game again. Had 2 big runs in this one. The last catch for a first. There's Gronkowski back and forth between the 2 tight ends. It is some combination. Gronkowski and Hernandez, 16 more.
Well, they ran a play that the Denver Broncos like to run. Tight end down the middle. Another tight end down the sideline. Look how wide open. And they got this Denver defense. Their head is spinning. What's next?
Quentin Carter slow to get up on the field, making this tackle right here. We've got an injury timeout. Quentin Carter, the rookie from Oklahoma, who had a pick last week, shaken up on this hit.
Yeah, he lowers that head, leads with it. No, it's not easy to do. These guys are big and running fast. Get that shoulder in there instead of the head.
The Gronkowski reception has New England in the red zone at the 17.
Look at him move it.
Woodhead. Every play picking up a big chunk of yardage. This one for 7.
Well, they're showing so many different looks. Look at Logan Mankins. The left guard gets a good block on DJ Williams. Man, takes him to the ground. And Woodhead, when he sees space, he cuts it up. Hard to find him, too.
They line up Hernandez in the backfield again, 2nd down and 3. Brady back to the end zone, and did he pull it in? Gronkowski says yes, and the official or Breeze. Touchdown, New England. Andre Goodman shakes his head, wondering how did he catch that?
Really good read by Tom Brady. He didn't take the bait. He didn't throw it short. The defense was up and reacting. Well, it's going to be a challenge. Well, since it's a score, it'll be looked at, Jim. The nose of that football did hit the ground.
Look at the big tight end laying out for that one.
Really good blocker.
The previous play will be reviewed. Timeout.
Gene Steratore. We'll take a good look at that one as Gronkowski makes the big effort.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
We are back in New England. They're reviewing what was called on the field a touchdown catch by Rob Gronkowski, but
You and I agree. We think it'll be overturned. Does he have control the whole time? Even though he has it, I think it comes out a little bit there. And the ball is allowed to hit the ground, Jim, but you cannot lose control of it.
After review, the ruling on the
Gronkowski never lost control of the football. And as you watch it, the football did move. And John Fox, he was like me. He thought it was going to be ruled incomplete.
so a second touchdown throw here in the first quarter, giving Brady 32 career postseason touchdown passes. Ties him with Dan Marino for third on the all-time career postseason touchdown list. Set up by the fumble forced by Ninkovich. Gronkowski gets the touchdown. Brady has completed his first 8 passes of the night.
How about Tom Brady? He told us on Thursday. We asked about the tight ends. I figured, we're going to do this to maybe not throw it to the tight ends this time, confuse different. Because no, we're going to throw it to him more. So we've seen the throws, and we've seen Hernandez in the backfield too.
And Belichick telling us earlier in the year, Gronkowski is like Mark Bavaro, and Hernandez reminds him of Dallas Clark. It is some combo no one could stop. Short kick to Willis, and he is thrown down by Tracy White. Just a 7-yard return.
Tom Brady, wonderful start, 8 for 8. When you play zone defense, you are going to lose against the Patriots. And then, who are the guys that can cover these tight ends man to man? That's the problem you have when you play this football team. Doesn't matter who you put in there. Defensive back, linebackers, they're fast, they're mobile, they run good routes, and even when you cover them, they push off, and they get open again.
That kick held up by a wall of wind and gave that coverage team time to get down there. Wilfork is across and flags are thrown.
Oh, you're right, that wind, that was a good job catching a kickoff, Jim. It like hit a wall.
And now you got the Denver Broncos, the top rushing team in the league.
Coachman, defense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, first down.
We've seen this team 5 straight weeks, and the one thing you always say is not a team that you want to see behind early. If you're a Bronco fan, it's going to be a tough road for them with their emphasis on the ground game, but it's still just 6.5 to go first quarter.
You said it right. Be extremely patient. Hope your defense settles down and let your offense get into what they do, running the football.
And running the option with the toss, and Ninkovich, who forced the fumble, has McGahee behind a line of scrimmage and a loss of a couple.
What the Patriots are doing, they're just suffocating. You look, they got the edges on both sides. They got big linebackers inside. What are you going to do? So now they go sideways. Ninkovich, boy, you talking about a guy that can do all. That is Rob Ninkovich. He reminds me of Mike Vrabel, pass rusher, good run stopper. He can cover guys when he needs to.
Well, he wears Vrabel's old number. He came out of Purdue, caught a couple of touchdowns in college. One from Curtis Painter and one from Kyle Orton. They haven't tried that here. Here's Tebow with Thomas. And look at all the Patriots around him. Nearly half that defense, the ball's out, and a Patriot falls on it. Did they rule him down? They had 5 Patriots in on that tackle.
That's what you do. They're all watching Tim Tebow. So when it's thrown, they can react.
The ruling on the field is that the runner's progress was stopped. 1 yard short of the line of gain. It will be 3rd down and 1 Denver. Forward progress.
So Ninkovich had the recovery, but it will not hold up. It goes as a 6-yard gain.
So since it was ruled forward progress was stopped, that is not reviewable. And this is when, right there, they're going backwards. And I think it's a good call, Jim. Forward progress was definitely stopped.
It was Ihedebo who was reaching in, trying to strip it loose. A 3rd and 1. Bouncing off the hit. And McGahee taken off. McGahee out across the 40 and a first. He was going to be stopped short of the first, but instead is able to bounce outside for 17.
No question inside. The 2 big guys, Vince Wilfork and Kyle Love, stopped it. And Devin McCourty gets caught looking in the backfield, does not see the breakout. Watch the 2 big guys inside. They just destroy the run. And there's Devin McCourty coming from the outside, does not see Willis McGahee. Boy, they are squeezing it from outside in. Running lanes a lot tighter this time for the Denver Broncos.
Lance Ball, the running back. And it's still in Tebow's hands. And he runs the option for 5. Tomorrow on CBS, new bosses, new challenges, and the greatest rewards. All new Undercover Boss returns tomorrow after 60 minutes. Only CBS.
I think the Patriots realize now, Jim, this helped them a lot playing this Broncos offense the second time. They saw some of the runs. They're more ready for the option. And now, last time they were ready for the option, they got overpowered with just the regular runs.
2nd and 5. Play action fake. Tebow had to get rid of it. He had Rob Ninkovich wrapped around him, and Ninkovich having a very big first quarter.
Well, Jim, you and I have talked to Ninkovich many times up here, and the first thing you notice when he walks in the room, you go, wow, you're a big dude. You just don't know. And again, the extra lineman outside does not help against Ninkovich. You're thinking, hey, he's going to go outside. Chris Clark, he went inside him. Ruins another play.
3rd and 5.
Defensive front. Lost the battle in Denver for New England, winning it today.
Tebow has Thomas. And the ball is out incomplete. It was knocked out by Sterling Moore, who's really emerging here late in the regular season, now into the postseason. He had 2 picks in week 17.
Well done. Keeps outside leverage. Here's the favorite route of the Denver Broncos. And it's a perfect throw. Should have been a catch. But Sterling Moore played the technique right, knocks it out.
And a new long snapper out for the Broncos. It's David Binn, replacing Lonnie Paxton this week. Binn, the former Charger. The perfect snap. Back to Britton Colquitt. Bearcat signal. Welker at the 13. 39-yard punt. Thursday, see why Person of Interest is the People's Choice Award winner for favorite new drama. Catch a new episode Thursday here on America's #1 network, CBS.
first downs. Tim Tebow on the sideline with the coaches going, what are they doing to us? Trying to figure it out.
Ocho Cinco's come into the lineup. And an incompletion intended for Hernandez, but Champ Bailey was there to force the incompletion.
You have to be ready on the defensive side. These quick snaps, it caught the Broncos again. Watch Rob Gronkowski right down the field. And, Von Miller. It's a good thing, Tom Brady, that wasn't part of the read.
That's the first incompletion of the game for Brady. And by the way, Quentin Carter is back out there after being shaken up earlier, the safety. And Green Ellis for 5. It'll set up 3rd and 5 at the 18.
Well, we had a chance last night. We talked to Chris Harris, who has the, I don't know what kind of job. I wouldn't want to do it, but he covers Wes Welker. So 3rd and 5. Chris Harris has got to just sit there and go, it's my time. Here we go.
Undrafted,
and they know they love to throw to Wes Welker in these situations.
rookie out of Kansas. This is New England's first 3rd down situation.
It's like a 3-man rush.
Got to get to the 23 for the first. They got it. And that was, in fact, Welker working on Harris for 7 and a first.
I was watching the rush. They blitz one linebacker plenty of time. Tom Brady reloads, and what they do, did you see what happened? Edelman and Welker were like behind each other going up the field. Hard to discern who you got to get, and that's why Wes Welker was wide open.
Tebow keeps looking up at the big screen, not liking what he sees as Brady stands in the pocket and is intercepted. It's Carter, who was injured earlier, has an interception for the 2nd straight week, and he is smashed at the 25 by Hernandez. But a break for the Broncos.
That's what you need. You need a break. I think Tom Brady thinks Rob Gronkowski, he's trying to lob it over the linebackers, and it just gets away from him. It looks like Gronkowski did not have a read. He had the in cut. Tom Brady just missed the throw. Yeah, he's looking at him, trying to throw it soft. Overthrows it quite a bit. And you're right. The Broncos, they just hang in there. And you know it's Tom Brady just by that reaction that it was his fault. Just a bad throw.
Sets up Denver at the 24 of New England. McGahee. That's good for 6.
So you're talking about something you need. You're sitting over there going, wow, all right. Now you settle the crowd down. Maybe you take some of the confidence away from that New England offense, but take advantage of this. And how about that? Even though I thought the run defense was good that time by New England, Denver still picked up 5 yards.
Patriots have not given up a point off a giveaway in the last 8 games.
They got him up there playing run.
And it's McGahee. This time he is stopped for only 2. 3rd and short. 3rd and actually about 3 coming up. Wilford on the tackle.
Let's look at this, Jim. This defensive line for the Patriots. From behind, the Broncos offense, good job of everybody just attacking the ball, staying in their lanes. Excellent job by Vince Wilfork. Here he comes, down the line. That is 7 big bodies they have around the line of scrimmage on the Patriot defense.
And a big 3rd down. Down 14-0. 3rd and 3. Got the first. Inside the 10, Demaryius Thomas picks up 12 here in the final 30 seconds of the first quarter.
Well, I've seen more just stand there and throw it passes by the Broncos, and I've seen the 5 games we've done, Jim, but a nice job of finding the second receiver. That's Demaryius Thomas coming from left to right. He's big, strong, and fast. You got to like his matchup against anybody.
He was hobbling after that tackle. They're already without Eric Decker, who's back home after an MCL strain last week, and he's a big part of this offense. We're going to the second. 14-0 New England. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We start the second quarter, and the Broncos have first and goal at the 5, and this is an amazing stat on the season, Phil.
Yeah, it is. So what do you think the Patriots are going to play? They say inside the 10, let's play run all the way. Make him throw it in to score.
He likes the quarterback draw. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and McGahee drives it across. Touchdown, Denver. Right up the gut, 5 yards for the touchdown. And flags are thrown.
Well, I would think Zane Beadles will be in the middle of it. He likes to mix it up a little. Tough guy, really good puller. And I'd say I think he's a pretty dang good guard. Athletics.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense. Number 68, 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. It is on the play as a touchdown.
I think he'll hear, what are you doing? Remember who the other team is. Left guard 68. Chips on one guy, gets the block down the field. There's 68. Does he make it into the end zone?
Oh, he ends up driving everybody about 3 yards into it.
That pile gets way in the end zone.
McGahee has run hard here. A couple of times looked like he'd be stopped for losses and was able to break free. Extra point by Prater, 14-7. The Broncos take advantage of the interception. And it's 14-7 Patriots, 6 seconds into the second quarter. And here's why there was a flag thrown on the touchdown. 68, Beadles.
Oh boy,
stomping around.
Yeah, he had a little run in there on the run. It was him and Gerard Mayo.
John Fox saying, what are you doing? We're going to have to kick off now at the 20 and into the wind.
Good point. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride out there.
Prater, who has that massive leg, able to drive it down to the 11 for Woodhead, plus the 30. And here's the price they pay because of the flag. They go all the way out to the 40, 28-yard return by Danny Woodhead. Monday on CBS, get fired up for a showdown on a can't-miss new episode of Hawaii Five-0. It's Monday, only CBS.
You know, you think you get all this time, it's a rematch, Jim. You talked about it. They played 4 weeks ago. Denver was hoping to pressure Tom Brady. So far, not even a hint of pressure when he throws the ball.
Green Ellis for only a yard. You may have seen that graphic that all regular season, the Broncos were awful in the second quarter, put up 33 points. Then last week, lo and behold, they put up 20 in the second quarter against the Steelers, more points than they scored in any single quarter all year, and they get this touchdown that was, of course, set up late in the first with the pick. But it counts in the books as a second quarter touchdown. Over to Gronkowski, sidesteps the hit from Bruton, and Gronkowski nimble for the big man, and a gain of 10. Carter bounces him out.
You said it, nimble for a big guy, and this is what this New England offense is about. They throw it short, they catch it, and the yards after the catch, they are 2,700 yards after the catch this year.
Trying to catch him off balance. They hurry to the line, and Green Ellis swallowed up at the 45.
They know, hurry up offense. Tom Brady under center, running back behind him. The Denver Broncos said it's basically 100% run, but it still works.
And we've got another injured player. It's Carter again. The interception maker, the one who took that hit right onto Gronkowski's chest earlier and had to sit out of play. We'll be right back. So we're back. Carter to the sideline. Bush replaces him. Raheem Moore has also come into that secondary. 2nd and 6, and knocked down by Mays. Joe Mays. He jumped that pass.
He sure did. He had it read right. He looked at the quarterback, stays outside the receiver. Oh, that's why he gets underneath there, Jim, as Gronkowski and Bush collide.
And it's a big mistake. Yeah, 3rd and 6. Across the middle, incomplete. And that was going to Welker. And Hernandez was also in there. They were maybe a little crossed.
Yeah, you know, they're open, but the pressure, it's not great, but it makes Tom Brady stand really tall, and it's just enough. You see his legs are a little stiff, and it makes him overthrow the football. So it doesn't have, you don't have to hit him, just be around his feet. That's enough to make him off target.
Zoltan Mesko, his gross average this year, best in team history. He's only had one touchback at home. He knows how to pin him inside the 20. Because he's got cover guys like that who are waiting, like Matthew Slater, who made the Pro Bowl, number 18 there. Didn't need Slater's magic fingers that time. Mesko got it done. 40-yard punt. Broncos back inside the 10. Broncos huddled around the heaters. It feels like 6 with the wind chill, and there are gusts. And the Broncos are going into that wind right now, beginning at the 5. They've had 7 first down plays. They've all been runs. Make it 8 for 8 as McGahee is stacked up by Mayo after a gain of 5.
Look what they've done so far in the 3 possessions, Jim. We talked early in the year. Willis McGahee, just it's like he's been reborn out in Denver with this offense especially. And, you know, we had some laughs with him. What did he do during the offseason? Down in Miami, ran in that sand a lot. I'd say, well, whatever you did, it's worked.
Called it the South Beach workout. 2nd and 5. He's not running in sand. He's running into the arms of a couple of Patriots on this occasion. Picks up just a yard. 3rd and 4 coming up. Gerard Warren. And they continue to scuffle after the whistle, including Beatles again.
And he's getting chewed out there. But you know the one thing, you can see the Patriots are absolutely, what they give up in the first game in the first quarter, 167.
7 yards on the ground.
Yeah, today they're more in tune. They're spread out much better on the defensive side, and you don't see those gaping holes.
Third down and 4. Thought about the option, keeps it instead, and it'll be 3 and out. That's Patrick Chung and Gerard Mayo, who were there the whole time.
Yeah, the longer you wait, the less chance you have of getting this turned up. There, he should have turned it up and gone with it, but he waited, and look at the defense. The Patriots had last time and this time have contained the outside option against this Broncos offense.
So again, a new long snapper. It's David Ben, who was 17 years with the Chargers. Really, though, has not been in a football game for count since game 1 a year ago. He had a hamstring injury, was IR'd. Fair catch called by Kevin Falk. They had Edelman back there also. Good job into the wind with that punt by Colquitt. 40-yarder, no return. And the Patriots take over again near midfield, leading by 7. Aerial coverage over Foxborough, provided by MetLife. Raphael Bush has taken the spot of Quentin Carter. We're told neck injury and questionable to return. Tom Brady started this game 8 for 8 with 2 touchdown throws. He's 2 of 6 since that time, including a pick. Ridley with his first carry of the game, the rookie from LSU.
We talk about Tom Brady a lot. He had it rolling. But even though he's been in the league as long as he has, Jim, it's always about confidence. And when you're confident as a quarterback, you see it and you throw with those confidence. So, like you said, 2 of 6. They need to give him an easy play to get him back in the flow of the game.
2nd down and 7. Still got it. Brady sets it up. Tight end screen. Gronkowski splits the defenders and rumbles for a first down and a gain of 9. He went right between Bailey and Mays.
Defense drops back. Watch Tom Brady. Watch the inside linebacker. See, they go back. So they're playing zone. He goes, well, I don't even want to take a chance. Throw it short. Gronkowski, how about that for the big guy? Just rumbles through the tackles.
Help him go.
Ridley. With just a yard. He's been their most active ball carrier the last 3 weeks of the regular season, with 11 carries, 13 carries, 15 carries, and didn't see action until the second tonight.
Yeah, every time we watch him practice, he gets a lot of carries, but they are in bringing him along in the offense a little more. I think he brings a little more speed in there, and he doesn't make many mistakes on where to run. Sees the hole, hits it.
Second down and 9. Sideline pass, complete. Branch, who was not dressed for the first game back in December against Denver. He was out with a groin injury. He has 10 and another first.
Well, you see, there's a double team on Wes Welker to the left. So Tom Brady is forced to go outside. You said it. Deion Branch back helps a lot.
Hernandez in the backfield gets his carry for the third time. And Hernandez, they can't stop him when he runs it.
They can't line up. Who has him? They go outside. It's a quick snap. Watch down the bottom of the screen. How about Deion Branch? Goes inside. Let me take care of the force. And Hernandez. Wow. Tight end, fullback, halfback. Good job of protecting the football, too.
Got 10 yards and another first.
I wouldn't overwork him back there, though, Jim. It's too valuable to the football team. It's back there again.
In the red zone. Looking for options. And Brady slides for a couple.
Good coverage down the field. This Broncos secondary, top of the screen. Edelman, Andre Goodman covered. Good job by, and then Wes Welker, Chris Harris. And that's what he said. Get my hands on Wes Welker. That's the toughest thing for him to handle.
The 2nd and 8. They go ground with Green Ellis. Spinning around and finally brought down at about the 12. Give him 5. It'll be 3rd and 3. And again, no huddle necessary.
4 down. 4 down.
Woodhead is the running back, flanking Brady.
Read it. Read it.
Across the middle. Gronkowski in. Touchdown, New England. The first time we talked to Brady about Gronkowski, he said, you would not believe this guy's mitts. His hands are huge. And again, it's just, watch him engulf this pass.
Well, what does it really, Jim? It's a clever design. It's the formation, and it allows what? They got outside leverage. Harris, doesn't matter. You see the push-off? Nobody inside because it's been cleared out by the design of the route. And Tom Brady is waiting on Gronkowski the whole time. I know that route well. Mark Bavaro made it famous.
I told you earlier, Belichick compared him to Mark Bavaro, your old tight end. Gostowski good with the extra point. Brady has thrown 3 touchdowns. 2 of them to Gronkowski. And the Patriots are back up by 14. Mid-second. And New England already with 21 on the board. He said Brady needed a couple of plays there to kind of get mentally the confidence back on that drive.
Well, you know, like anybody, Jim, it doesn't matter what sport you play. You know, the greatest golfers in the world need something to reinforce their confidence, to get them back in the groove. And, you know, you cover that sport. Tom Brady, getting the football in good position was a big deal. So that kind of eases your some of the pressure right away, and got a couple easy throws, took advantage of them.
Gostowski, the big kick, favorable wins. Willis says no way.
Well, Chris Harris has to cover Gronkowski. He's going to go up here. He thinks he's going to go this way, but he stops and comes back inside. Watch the receiver go down the middle. They cover the middle. There he cleans it out. Look at the space inside to get it. and easy touchdown. Great design, though, by the Patriots. Tom Brady on top of the throw. Man, that is perfect technique, perfect spiral, easy catch.
Time they're going to throw on first down tonight. And it's almost intercepted. Kyle Arrington, who shared the league lead in interceptions, very nearly had one right there. He had 7 picks on the year.
He sure did. They're reading, they're playing the scenes. The Broncos love them. And the Patriots want to do a good job of staying back and react to the throw. Kyle Arrington did it, just missed it.
And Arrington's 8 total takeaways tied Charles Woodson for most in the NFL this year. Second and 10. Option time again. Eddie Royal cuts right back into the arms of Gerard Mayo for only 1.
Well, I think I'd think twice before I run this option. Eddie Royal comes in motion. It's going to be an option a lot of times. The fake inside, but look who's out there. 3 defenders, and look how fast they close in on it. I would say the Patriots used that time off and the experience for that first game against Denver. They got this option figured out.
They really started to figure it out after that first quarter in that last game. You mentioned it earlier, all that yardage they surrendered early. Tebow on third down. Fells with a block to give him more time. Tebow doubled up and throws it away, incomplete. A second straight 3 and out for the Broncos.
You know what's impressive? The defensive backs staying with the guys. The fake, nobody open right away. Oh, it is the underneath coverage. That's the one thing the Patriots are going to give him. But Tim Tebow has not done a lot of throw down the field and then come off and throw it short. Outside is open. But the running back underneath was the guy he should have seen.
And Colquitt. This will be returned. It's Edelman dancing around. And they're going to start at very nearly the same spot the last drive began. They took it home for a touchdown the last time they began at their own 48. And the New England defense again makes the stop 3 and out. Well, that's one way to stay warm. Monday on CBS, your favorite comedies are all new. Maybe these guys need to have their own comedy. From People's Choice Award winners, How I Met Your Mother, and Two Broke Girls, Two and a Half Men, and Mike and Molly. All new Monday only on CBS America's most watched network. So they've been getting good field position. The Patriots' 3rd straight drive from their own 40 or better, and Brady's down the field. And that was going to Edelman. Goodman was there with him, no flag. Brady did hit the deck.
Yeah, they finally got a little pressure, Jim. Big series here, 21-7. You've got to change up what you're doing. And Von Miller makes a good move to create a little pressure. Then the late hugger or blitzer gets to Tom Brady.
And here is Green Ellis with the run. And holding on is Chris Harris, who's a very good tackler. He brings down the law firm after a gain of 3. And Chris Harris, during that whole lockout this summer, undrafted, he worked for a law firm.
How about that?
Yeah, he worked right there in Tulsa for Solomon and Simmons. Didn't know if he'd even get a crack at the NFL.
4-year starter at Kansas, runs a 4.4 and only gets one team to offer him a free agent contract.
3rd and 7. Brady down the field. Branch! And it's incomplete. Made the diving attempt at it.
Boy, they had him. It was a blitz by the Broncos, and Champ Bailey got caught. He's watching the quarterback, so he gambles, goes in and gets another guy, and it leaves Deion Branch outside, open. Close.
How big was that defensive stop by Denver?
Denver needed it. Their offense is struggling. Defense finally turned up a little heat, and it worked.
Danny Aiken sends it back to Mesco, who nailed him back at the 5 the first time, and now he sets him up at the 10. Helping win the field position battle is Zoltan Mesco after that 38-yarder. Tebow and Brady so far.
Well, Tom Brady had some excellent passes. How about that catch by Gronkowski? That bad throw, but look at this. Gets a lot of chances up here with this offense. They're so diverse. And, you know, you look at this Denver offense, Jim, they rely so much on the run. They can overpower most teams they've been playing this year. Not able to do that so far with the Patriots today.
Last week they completed only one pass on first down, and that was the winner in overtime. So they go ground again. In fact, they only threw it twice. They had 25 first downs last week against the Steelers. 23 of them were running plays, and that one completion again was the one that brought him here to Foxborough, the 80-yarder to Thomas.
Average draft start 26.
Got an extra lineman in the game. It's Chris Clark, and timeout called by Fox.
First charge timeout. Denver, a 30-second timeout.
John Fox and Bill Belichick, the two coaches who met down in Houston in Super Bowl 38. Carolina and the Patriots, that came down to the wire in a Vinatieri winner. Both men former defensive coordinators with the New York Giants. And of course, Belichick was there when you were there.
Yep, started in 1979 with the Giants when I went there, and that Super Bowl, Jim, we covered it.
Yep.
And it was a tight defensive struggle, and then all of a sudden when it opened up, and receivers were open everywhere. I remember that touchdown throw to Mike Vrabel, a blown assignment by the Patriots, and how about that? Just another big kick by Adam Vinatieri. But this defense, the Patriots, good job so far. You take away the run game and the option for the Denver Broncos, of course, we all know their passing game, their options, it's a little limited. So they have no choice, 21-7, be patient, keep running the football.
It's a 2nd and 5. McGahee has 63 of Denver's 99 yards. He gets the handle here, slides off the hip, and falls right on the first down yardage. Yeah, you were talking about that workout during the offseason. McGahee's 30 years old. That's long in the tooth for a running back. But he went back to the University of Miami, again, during all the lockout time and everything, and practiced working out, if you will, in sand.
Yeah, he says it really got his legs strong, made him faster again, and there you see the run. But how almost let that football get away from him on the handoff again. But the older players, the lockout helped a lot of them, gave them more rest.
Now on first down, they try the middle this time. McGahee has only a yard. McGahee had that crucial fumble last week that saw the Steelers convert that into a tying touchdown. Had an early fumble in the game, too, that was recovered by Walton, his center.
Well, the second fumble, they had a chance maybe to put the game away, but when you look at this drive, the Broncos, it's not about scoring right here. It's about taking the time off the clock, and at worst, they'd like to get another first down or two to, at worst, get in at halftime at 21-7.
Move inside 4 minutes, 2nd down and 9, and it's Royal with the grab, and he falls for the first, knowing the yardage he needed. And he had Arrington, he had position, Arrington behind him, good for 10.
I think they can do that more. Something we saw in the last third down. New England Patriots are going to give him sideline throws, and when he throws, they throw so many footballs down the field, the Denver Broncos, that if he doesn't do it, the short routes, the running back, the tight ends, they leave them uncovered. And so far, Denver is not taking advantage of that.
So from the 32, first down. Tebow saw that the pocket was collapsing, and he is sacked. He tried to escape, but Wilfork and Ninkovich again in on the play.
Well, they get overpowered up front. You said it. And boy, it's Ninkovich once again who makes Tim Tebow get a little anxious. He feels him coming from the outside, even though he's blocked, and he shoots up in that pocket. When you do, those defensive linemen, they shed those blocks.
Second down and 14. And Tebow never gave up the football. And Gerard Warren just drove him back. Another big loss.
Boy, again, trying to run the option. How about that? They got people in position for the quarterback to pitch. There is nowhere to go with this option game.
Timeout called by New England at the 2:43 mark.
Little impatient, you know, Jim. I thought the Broncos were with that first down pass. You know, they had a couple first downs, stayed with the run. Instead, they threw it, the sack, put them in a tough position. And now New England wants to get it back, get some more points.
Gerard Warren, an old Florida Gator.
Yes, defensive line. Big part of this lead so far, played well.
There's Robert Kraft with Leslie Moonves, the head of CBS. Mr. Kraft's son, Jonathan. John Bon Jovi back there with the red scarf.
Yeah, he likes football. There's no doubt about that. He used to see John Bon Jovi at a lot of our practices back long ago with the New York Giants.
Third and 20. They go with Lance Ball. Had a big chunk, but nowhere near a first.
Oh, it's a good call. And the one thing, you play the Broncos, third down, it's just another down to them. They can run the option. Tim Tebow can run it. They run the quarterback draw. Don't think it's an obvious passage situation like it is with a lot of teams.
So the Patriots have one timeout with 2:38 to go in the half. And Edelman will drop back.
Like I said, I like to call, make them use a timeout, get a little better field position. Hope you can back them up with a good punt.
Britton Colquitt. Short punt. And a favorable bounce. Down to the 28. 38 yards in all. Gronkowski coming back out. Recipient of 2 touchdowns.
Well, what an improvement when you look at Gronkowski and, of course, Aaron Hernandez, both of them from last year to this year. And we've talked to him, and Rob Gronkowski said from the first day of training camp, he goes, man, it's a lot different than it was last year. More confident.
Woodhead. They weren't expecting that. He's got 11. And they hurry to the line just to finish up Gronkowski. Hard to argue, one of the best, if not the best season ever by a tight end in the history of the league. Most receiving yards by a tight end ever in one season. Most touchdowns by a mile. 17 touchdown receptions, 1 on the ground. Brady now goes down the field for the long ball. Branch has it in stride. Deion Branch is in for the touchdown. 61 yards.
I'll tell you, that was the throw of the year for Tom Brady. You're talking about getting every bit of it. And Jim, you know it. When they get in these 2-minute situations, they love to catch you off guard and throw it down the field. That contact, both of them. Andre Goodman, Deion Branch, there was contact. Deion Branch just enough of a pushback that gives him a little separation, and what a throw. What a throw.
It's not every day you see a quarterback throw 4 touchdowns in a half of any game, much less a playoff game. As Gostowski 4 for 4 on the night. He didn't have Branch that first meeting against Denver. He's got him tonight. He got him for 61 yards in the touchdown. For the last time a quarterback had 4 touchdown passes in a half in a postseason game. Peyton did it back in the 03 wild card game, Colts against Denver.
Well, that'll everything to Tom Brady, that interception, it's gone now. When you make a throw like he just did there, he'll go home tonight and go, yeah, that was a good game. If hang on here and win. But he'll remember that throw because it was special.
You're looking at 2 Super Bowl MVPs right there. Branch, who won it once, the game down in Jacksonville against Philadelphia. Brady, who was twice named Super Bowl MVP. They hook up on the big 61-yarder.
Well, Jim, let's look at the touchdown. Top of the screen, Deion Branch, Andre Goodman. It looks like the safeties are going to do that, but no, they go in the middle. And Tom Brady, as he makes the fake, he sees the safety in the middle of the field and knows Deion Branch down the sideline. That little push right there is enough to get the separation. What a throw by Tom Brady.
There was a little contact.
There was, and look at this. Perfect spiral. The football went about 43 yards in the air.
1:57 to go in the half. Denver with 2 timeouts. Number 1. Lance Ball for 5.
Jim, you saw it, the little contact. Watch it. Oh, nice. And it was, hey, look, no
That's not
big deal.
interference?
No, it's not, because Andre Goodman actually was grabbing Deion Branch's right arm before that little push back. So
2nd and 5. Tebow waiting around and dropped. Lance Ball. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer, Coach Cowher. Their take on the first half here. And the recap of that exciting NFC Divisional playoff game won by the 49ers with seconds to go, knocking out the Saints. It's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Now, Denver better be careful here.
that's right. You got it.
3rd down, in danger of giving the ball back to the Patriots one more time and having again to punt into some pretty stiff breezes.
Oh, I think, yeah, this is not like be careful. You got to try to pick the first down up here. Because the Patriots here, you're thinking like you, Jim.
Well, they didn't snap it in time, did they? They called the timeout.
No, it might be a penalty.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Denver, their 2nd timeout of the half. It will be a 30-second timeout.
So it was close. They pick up the flag and they say the timeout was first.
Let's remember, though, how they do it. Yeah, well, when you look at the clock, if the ball's not snapped, then you look down. So when you look back down at the football, maybe that was just enough time for Tim Tebow to call timeout. It's a big timeout, too. For the Broncos, 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 10. Here at 3rd and 5, they could still run the football. John Fox knows it's a big spot of the game. He comes running down to help out the offense.
It's 12 men on the field, isn't it?
I don't think John's still considered a player.
All right, 3rd down and 5. Pass incomplete. Going to Demaryius Thomas. And they'll send it back to the Patriots, and New England still with a timeout.
Yeah, you know, they forced themselves into this situation. Demaryius Thomas is open. You just got to stick it on him. And the weather, the fact that they don't throw the football a lot, that's what the Patriots are willing to give up. Outside routes.
Fair catch signal. Falk. Kevin Falk at the 42.
Boy, the wind, it is really hurting the Broncos a lot more than it is the Denver Broncos. I mean, the New England Patriots.
Well, Brady's tied an all-time NFL postseason record, tying the most touchdown throws in the first half of a playoff game with 4. And again, he's going downwind here. No one's ever thrown 5 in the first half of a playoff game.
Well, I don't think they'll be shy about trying to do it, that's for sure. This offense, we've seen it. It is, Dennis Allen said it, it's full throttle. They know they're going after it all the time.
Completion to Welker at the 50. Gain of 8. will hold on to their timeout. And it's Hernandez. Makes the cut. To get away from Bush. And he picks up 20. 20 more.
Tom Brady doesn't want to call the timeout because he has the defense. You know, he has them frazzled. So why take a timeout? Let them settle down.
Roger!
Here he goes for the long ball and over the head of Edelman with Goodman this time running with him. And again, the Sprint halftime report is coming up. JP Dan and Shannon Boomer and Coach Cowher back in the studio in New York, and we'll hear their thoughts on this first half action here at Foxborough.
You know, a lot of things here, Jim, but the biggest is the Denver Broncos once again cannot pressure the quarterback at all.
2nd and 10. Edelman gets out of bounds with 10 seconds to go.
How about that? Julia Edelman can do it all. Wide receiver, defensive back, special teams player.
Only caught 4 balls in the regular season. Exceptional, though, filling in the secondary emergency duty a number of games. And his punt return talents as well.
Yeah, good job getting out of bounds. He was an option quarterback in college.
Yep, Kent State. He played the role of Tebow in the scout team preparing for this one. Brady's got him! Touchdown and an NFL record in the postseason for the quarterback. Gronkowski for the 3rd time tonight.
Another zone defense. Even though that time Tom Brady gets hit, Gronkowski right down the middle of the defense. Tom Brady, good move by Von Miller. He gets hit, but it doesn't have any effect. Look at the middle of that field, how wide open it is. And they were playing a coverage to stop that type of play. DJ Williams turned the wrong way.
With only 5 seconds to go in the half. Good job by Mesko on the hold. Well, Gronkowski, by his enormous standards, had a quiet afternoon out in Denver. Hernandez was the big target that day, but boy, are they making up for it on this occasion.
He's making up for it now, Jim. Let me just show you. They played a defense to stop this type of play. He's going to go down the middle. Here's DJ Williams. He's supposed to be back here to help out. But when the play takes off, sorry, there it goes. He turns to the other side. Oh, that's the throw to the outside. Sorry, and Tom Brady sees the middle wide open, makes the throw.
Another tight spiral right into the midst of Gronkowski. You know, all week long there's been all this attention after that incredible finish in Denver last week, and we even joked with Brady and Tebow about the fact that Tom's been almost anonymous this week coming into the game.
Yep, there it is, going right down the middle. You see at that time, the linebacker turned the wrong way, and yeah, you know, Jim, you're right. We had a little fun with both quarterbacks saying that, but you know, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, this football team, 4 years since they won a playoff game.
By the way, Brady sets the record with 5 touchdown passes in the half of a postseason game. Gronkowski's 3 touchdown receptions has tied an NFL postseason record.
Well, what do? You shut out one tight end in the first contest.
Yeah.
They keep it away, like you said. But this time, it's just, I say that a lot when you talk about the Patriots. There's 5 guys that can catch the football. Can you put a guy that can run with all of them and cover them down the field? The answer is no.
You know, that last game, after a fast start by the Broncos, up 16-7, New England outscored them the rest of the way in that one, 34-7. And now it's 35-7 at halftime. That's a 69-14 stretch, if you will. Brady got knocked down by Miller, but he could still celebrate. Touchdown pass number 5. 3 of them going to Rob Gronkowski. What a tandem. 35-7 at halftime. Sprint halftime coming up. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Yeah, you did a good job, Lance.
(35-7) at halftime. Gronkowski catches 8 balls for 97 yards, 3 touchdowns. As we take a look at the Droid Razor Max Play presented by Motorola. No one near him. Bush doesn't even get a hand on him until he's in the end zone. Gronkowski racking up crazy numbers in that first half. Same could be said for the quarterback. And now the Broncos will be receiving the second half kick after deferring to this point, winning the toss. Tebow 3 of 10 in the first half, 28 yards. Willis is back there, and he's going to come out 4 deep. And again, they're pinned. Not quite to the 15. Racy White up there. You know, Phil, with just inside 3 minutes to go in that first half, it's 21-7. You said if Denver can just get some first downs, go into the locker room, 21-7, still got a chance.
Yeah, hindsight's great, but I think we were talking about it, Jim. You look at the score, you get the football at the start of the second half, and you know how potent the New England offense is. And the play selection and the game management by the Denver Broncos at the end of the first half cost them at least 1 touchdown, maybe 2.
Those 2 touchdowns in the last 1 minute and 57 seconds, blowing this thing open. As Ball able to deflect a hit, pick up 4. Tebow lost that fumble on their first series of the game, and that whole second quarter going into the win, they were flummoxed. They didn't know what to do with the passing game. Meanwhile, here was Gronkowski's first touchdown in Brady's numbers.
Wow. Well, probably the most consistent unit in the NFL this year. We talk about Green Bay's offense, and we talk about New Orleans, but I think New England's week in and week out would win that award.
McGahee looking for something, and it's not there. Mayo, who is over 100 tackles again this year. He's made a number of them tonight, too.
Well, look at those numbers, Jim. First half possessions by the Broncos, really nothing that you can say, wow, that was a good series there. The one time they got a break, they did score the touchdown.
Got an injured Patriot. It's Mark Anderson, who came up big at the end of the regular season, filling in for an injured Andre Carter, and we'll be right back. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, back here at Gillette Stadium. Lance Barrow producing, Mike Arnold directing, executive producers Sean McManus and Harold Bryan. 3rd and 8 for the Broncos. Tebow going across his body down the field in traffic, and it's knocked away. That was Chung who ultimately deflected it away from Eddie Royal.
You know, you brought up a name, big deal for this New England defense. Brandon Spikes, linebacker back, and Patrick Chung, number 25, can cover wide receivers down the field. And when the wide receivers rerouted, those defensive backs were right with them. Watch on the outside more.
It's Colquitt. Edelman has it at the 40. Escapes a couple of hits. Turns the corner. And makes good use of very little real estate on that short side. Tony Carter bumped him out. 42-yard punt. 14-yard return. And the Patriots have the ball on the Denver side of the field.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Audi. Truth in engineering. and by Kobe System. Success for the successful.
Yeah, that's New England defense. A strong performance tonight. Mark Anderson went out with an injury that last series, but walked off under his own power. Now the first play of the second half. The Patriots give it to Woodhead. Takes it inside the 40, gain of 5.
You know, Jim, as we watch that first half, here they go. Start the second half, hurry up offense.
That's Miller running across and Matt Light reacting.
Offside. Defense unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
I'll guarantee you at halftime, Bill Belichick said to his football team, nothing nice, 35-7. Let's finish it off. This is no two-quarter game.
Here they are looking to throw. Down the middle to Butker. And he falls at the 17.
Well, what we said so many times, when you play elite quarterbacks in the NFL, if you're going to drop back and watch him and then react, you're going to lose. And every time it's been a zone defense today, Tom Brady is throwing it right to the receiver. And how about the throw, Jim? Another perfect spiral, right on target with velocity. That week off, let him get healthy and let his arm get fresh. And you know, I don't judge everything by practice, but it tells you a lot. Friday at practice, you saw it. Nobody talked. It was full speed, and he was throwing strikes all over the field.
Well, we're seeing it tonight. And he comes over to talk to the coaching staff that includes offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien, who a week ago today accepted the head coaching position at Penn State.
Well, I'll say this. For all the Penn State alums who said those negative things about Bill O'Brien, do you like what you see? Does this offense excite you? It is something different. And he won't need tight ends at Penn State to get it done. He'll work with what he's got and create an offense for it. That's why I think he's a tremendous coach.
And the man who will supplant him was the former offensive coordinator who was signed actually the same day that the Broncos knocked out the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right in the middle.
Unrelated, the former Denver coach Josh McDaniels comes over this week.
Well, a lot of talk about that. I'm sure the league might change the rules next year to make sure playoff teams can't get a coach to come in and help them. But as the Patriots said this week, you know what he can do for us? He can just tell us how he viewed us when he was a head coach of the Denver Broncos. So I don't think it's a big advantage. Some people do.
1st and 10, sidestepping, it's Green Ellis. Dumerville and others have him for no gain. Patriots moving in on 400 yards total offense just a couple of minutes into the second half. They are led tonight in rushing by a tight end, Aaron Hernandez, and led in receiving by the other tight end, Gronkowski.
Yeah, we said it, Jim, this offense, so diverse. You know, the screens, the hurry up. Aaron Hernandez, like you said, a running back. The shotgun, they do it all. Hard to get a beat on it. That's why it's hard to rush Tom Brady.
2nd down and 10. And Brady has Hernandez. What a move, and he's in for the touchdown. And Tom Brady has just tied the all-time postseason full game record with 6 touchdown passes. He ties Darryl LaMonica of the Raiders back in a 1969 divisional playoff game, and Steve Young in Super Bowl 29 with 6 touchdown throws.
That was another laser shot right between the defensive players. The play action fake. Oh my gosh, look how tight the window was. And you said it, what a nice move by Aaron Hernandez. The catch and run by these 3 receivers, the 2 tight ends and Wes Welker. Tremendous.
And Gostowski delivers the extra point. The route is on. They are in full gear tonight. Patriots up 42-7. Well, the records are mounting by the minute here. A team record postseason points. This is a Denver team that at times its defense really stepped up this season, a number of times, but There were 4 games this year where teams put up 40 or more against the Broncos, most in the league. And that's happened again here tonight. We still got a long way to go.
I think Brady's got his confidence back.
Yeah. Wasn't away for very long. If it was at all.
That's right.
And Willis. Ball came out. We get Edelman in there trying to claw for it. But Willis recovers his own fumble. It's a nice move Hernandez made after the catch.
Yeah, it was both. This might be as good as I've ever seen Tom Brady really throw the football. That was a small window, and he rifled it through there. And, you know, what else can we say about the tight ends? Hernandez, the quick stop, around, and touchdown. Who do you double when you play the Patriots offense? You got to double 3 guys. You can't, which is impossible.
Tebow looking to throw. Love chasing, incomplete. And that's off the fingertips, off the hands of McGahee. We talked about Daryl LaMonica was 6. And Steve Young was 6 in that Super Bowl against the Chargers. The NFL postseason record for touchdown passes in a game. Hey, it's interesting, the Steve Young angle here. When we first caught up with John Fox about a month ago, he was making comparisons about Tebow early in his career versus a young Steve Young, when, of course, he started the USFL, then was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a timeout called by New England. We're back coming out of a New England timeout, aerial coverage provided by MetLife. We're talking about going to the break. John Fox comparing Tebow to Steve Young's early career. He also mentioned Randall Cunningham, Fran Tarkington, Archie Manning. Tebow nowhere to go, and that Patriot defense having their game of the season.
You said it, they really are. It's 5 rushers this time. Even if he wanted to run, look, there is nowhere to go. And they are overpowering this offensive line that, gets hit. But he's not used to dropping back and throwing the football. This offensive line is not used to these type of situations.
Did a good job just to hold on to it. You could split that sack 3 ways with Ninkovich and with Wilford and with Warren. 3rd and 21. And Lance Ball up the middle for a couple.
This defense, I've never seen. Of course, I understand, Jim, the limitations of the offense they're going against. But remember the success Denver had in some situations against them out there. This is the #1 rated run football team. But up front, and they're healthy too.
Rush tonight for 103 yards, the Broncos. As Edelman makes the fair catch at the 48, 36-yard punt. Patriots defense been wanting a performance like this for a long time. The last time New England won a playoff game was against the San Diego Chargers in the AFC Championship game 4 years ago this month. Brady was out the next year with a knee injury. They had a winning record but did not qualify. And then the last 2 years, the Ravens and the Jets beat them. It's been 1,455 days since they won a playoff game. And Tebow, we think, got hurt on that sack.
Yeah, his arm hits, his left arm, his left elbow hits the ground first. Really can't tell when you're watching.
It's Ridley for a second straight carry. Nice move back to first and squirms down to the 34. Picks up 11. We got another shaken up Bronco here.
It was David Bruton, safety. Well, the Broncos, Jim. Brian Dawkins out.
I was just talking about these last 2 years in the playoffs, and I know the Patriot players are Been sick of hearing about it all week, but believe me, it was something that was reminded of them a number of times by the Patriot coaching staff. First it was the Ravens. They came in here, and the very first play of the game, Rice went 80 yards on them. Ravens beat them last year. The Jets come in and surprise them after a 45-3 drubbing at the hands of the Patriots and turn around and beat them in the playoffs.
Well, Jim, the coaches reminded them, but did you turn on one TV set, watch anything about NFL football where it was not brought up? So I'm sure if the Patriots, they saw it, they heard it. I'm sure their wives asked them questions. Can we finally win a playoff game? And we don't even have to guess. We know Bill Belichick brought it up many times.
Again tomorrow, Houston. Arian Foster. TJ, can he come in there and put up another performance? Fifth round pick out of North Carolina who stepped up big time going against those Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens already beat Houston once this year. They are the 2 seed. That's tomorrow on CBS. All starts with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines at noon as Bruton gets to his feet.
That game, Houston, when they went in and played the Ravens, that was a rough and physical game. If I remember, it was pretty close in the fourth quarter. 2 touchdowns late.
Final in that game was 29-14. The first time the Ravens have been at home, and they always were finishing behind the Steelers in that division.
51 to Mike.
They swept them this year to take that AFC North. First down for New England. And Brady sends it over to Hernandez. He's got 9. How long do you think you see Tom Brady tonight?
Oh, I think we'll see him at least to the fourth quarter, Jim. You know, that's just how Bill Belichick coaches, is that we keep going, we keep playing. And when the proper time comes, I would think it would be early in the fourth quarter, then he might take Tom Brady out.
He's going to dive it across for the first time. Of course, late in the season, he had a little issue with his non-throwing shoulder and worked out extensively, including during the bye week with his trainer, Alex Guerrero. Obviously, he's not ailing at all here tonight.
No, it's obvious. I think we saw that. We talked to him. He was in great spirits, but we did feel the edge up here in New England.
Fires it over to Ridley. Looking to make a move, and 3 Broncos come over. Ball's out. The rookie fumbles. Tell you, Broderick Bunkley is down. He got hit by his, I believe, his own teammate. And it's a recovery for Denver. It was Bunkley.
Bunkley that knocks it out.
Yep.
That's what you do. 3 guys around the football. You go for it. Bunkley hits it.
And Ridley gives Bill Belichick something to talk about and lean on all week long.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And Bunkley's still down.
Ridley knows, too. He'll take a week's worth of heat over that. Marcus Thomas was the one who recovered it. So Bunkley, who knocked it loose, his helmet was in there, though. Just kind of like what we saw earlier in the game with Quentin Carter, his teammate, his safety, who, after a couple of early blows, has not returned.
Well, he is moving around, which is a good sign, too. The Denver Broncos, Bunkley, he has really had a solid year. They're very happy with his play inside.
By the way, we were speculating on Tebow, saw him grimacing and everything. He is already in the huddle as they wait for Bunkley right here, injured on the play.
Yeah, he led with that
helmet.
Led with his helmet.
Yeah. Mays, Goodman, Bunkley all in on it. And Thomas falls on the pigskin. Bunkley, the former Philadelphia Eagle, picked up in a trade this year.
Well, coming into the playoffs, all we talked about, or a lot of people, and us too, is how this Patriots defense has struggled this year. And the one thing they've done, they've got the takeaways, but today, stopping the run game and really compressing the pocket. Tim Tebow nowhere to go. And then when he escapes, Jim, you've seen it, nobody open down the field.
You know, you said something to me last week about how you don't even understand the stats anymore. You can't interpret them. They've changed so much in like 10 years. The Packers, the 32nd ranked defense, last in the league. New England, 31st. That's how they stand against pass defense numbers. New Orleans, 30th, and here they were playing today. The Giants, 29th.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, in the old days, if you're 31st, 32nd, you'd be playing for the #1 pick in the draft. McGahee for 10. Instead, perhaps they'll be playing for the Lombardi Trophy this year. Who knows? Yeah, here's what we're talking about. Pass yards a game. And look at the bottom four in the league. All in the divisional round.
Well, there's no doubt the NFL has changed. When you look at a couple teams, to me, only a couple defenses in the whole league that stood out at times. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens.
Passing league now. As McGahee has another 6. Of course, tonight, passing yards allowed, 28. Subscribe to NFL Magazine, the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League, available at NFL.com/magazine and newsstands everywhere.
Well, the Denver Broncos, situation like this, keep mixing up the plays. Protect your team. Protect your quarterback.
And McGahee's going to get back yardage. Another hit's going to draw a flag. Chung going to cost him 15. McCourty had him first. Chung a little over aggressive.
Well, we can't read Bill Belichick's lips under there, but I think I know what he said.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 23, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Number 25 comes in, makes the hit, out of bounds when the play is over. God blocks. Well, he gets his wish one time. He gets the flag. But you know, Jim, we didn't talk about it a lot. But Patrick Chung being back, we were up here early in the season. The Patriot coaches were really bragging about him because he can cover people. He has the speed back there to help out at safety, and you can fast enough to make tackles.
Tebow to Willis, and it's incomplete.
But you take Patrick Chung, Brandon Spikes back in there. This game was built for this linebacking core. Brandon Spikes, Gerard Mayell. Brandon Spikes says, I can't wait to play because this is what the kind of game I want to be part of. Somebody that lines up and tries to run it.
He also is looking forward to the occasion to go against his college buddy. As Ball also sees the Patriots closing in on him quickly. Ihedibo drops him back for a 3-yard loss.
And what did he say about playing against his college buddy?
He
Brandon
said,
Spikes?
yeah, we used to talk about this in college. Someday, there's going to come a time, is what Spike said, we will meet in the NFL on a big stage. And that's tonight. He has a fumble recovery, by the way, there in the first quarter.
He was not there for the first game, Brandon Spikes. He said he got so frustrated. He goes, I threw the remote control at the TV.
Yeah, he was back home watching the broadcast. They didn't travel him with that knee injury. He said after he saw that early touchdown, that opening drive touchdown by the Broncos, that's when that remote was about to fly. We got an injured player again for the Broncos, Orlando Franklin, the right tackle, the rookie who's had a very good year.
Oh,
you've been high on this offensive line, Phil.
Yeah, I have. Tonight's not a good example of it. Orlando Franklin, second-round draft pick. They hit a home run with him. You take him at right tackle, Ryan Clady at left tackle, keep him healthy, you are set for 10 years.
Four down!
Franklin replaced by Chris Clark on 3rd and 13. Flag down. Tebow on the run has his man, and it's Willis to the New England 37. They had Edelman back in the secondary again, playing all over the field tonight. Will it hold up as an 18-yard gain?
Defense, number 11. Penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
So Edelman gets a little work on the defensive side. He gets called for the penalty right here.
Good job by Tim Tebow, moving in the pocket, looking down the field and finding somebody, and just get some positive results for your football team.
Edelman, who caught a pass in this game, returned punts, playing a little bit in the secondary. First down. Tebow somehow avoids the sack, weaving through and runs into, collides with Sean Ellis, the former Jet. Loss of 5.
Looks like some of the plays they had late in the game. How about that? Sean Ellis misses the tackle, gets up, keeps hustling, and Tim Tebow comes right back to him.
That is the 4th sack of the night for New England.
Look at the play, negative plays, 10.
Man, you don't see that. You just don't see that.
Not by a running team.
As Ball sprints free and gets within a couple of yards of a first. Picks up 13. So Orlando Franklin comes back in, shaken up for one play. Word comes up from the bench, though, that David Bruton will not return. Their safety out with a concussion, and Bunkley, neck injury, questionable to return. 3rd and 2. That's Mayo. He stuffs Ball for no gain.
Well, we talked about at the start tonight, the linebackers Reed and Phil. That time, Gerard Mayo, 51, watch it. He reads it, comes across. You can see the defensive back running to take the pitch in case Tim Tebow kept it. Once again, the option, New England is all over it.
4th down with 4 minutes and change to go, 3rd quarter. Ellis coming after the quarterback. Good throw by Tebow this time, and he has the first down with Eddie Royal, who caught a touchdown last week. Good for 15.
Yeah, nice play, good play action fake. Gets away from Sean Ellis. Look at the double coverage on the short receiver. They're forcing him to throw it down the field to the sidelines, and Tim Tebow puts it right on the money.
Converting on 4th down. Tebow, who rushed for 660 yards this season, a Denver record for a quarterback. Hasn't been much there tonight to run with for Tebow. Hands it off middle. And here's another negative play. Coming up to make the hit, Mark Anderson back into the game.
Wow.
Loss of 5.
I mean, what do you say up front? Vince Wilfork, oh my gosh, he just stands up the offensive lineman. Look at all the penetration by the linebackers. And we said it, when you take these 4 defensive linemen, these big 3 linebackers, it's like, well, makes it a really big front like they used to have.
Now 12 negative plays on the night. Tebow, this will be 13 times tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up to make the play, it's Brandon Spikes meeting up with his old Gator teammate again.
You know what it is, Jim? It's like watching the old college football game when Oklahoma and Nebraska played and they were option teams, and if they get way behind, it's so out of their element.
It was over.
It's just nothing they can do. An offensive line in all year is not used to protecting drop back passes. Now they're doing it. Tough situation.
3rd and 19. Incomplete. That was McCourty on the coverage, and Willis was the receiver near the goal line. They're going to bring out Matt Prater for a field goal try.
Well, that time Tim Tebow had the time. Oh boy, gets underneath it, so it kind of slides forward, makes the nose of the ball go up. It's going to make it wobble and be inaccurate.
41 yards on the field goal attempt for Prater. And Matt Prater won 4 games for him at the end this year. Drills it dead center. Well, Tim Tebow, this is not what everyone thought this game would be here tonight, and there are times we've seen it. We were at the game at Buffalo and things started going sideways, and this has been happening since late in the second quarter here today.
Right.
It's just his 16th career start,
that's right,
regular and postseason. So it really kind of, in a way, marks the end of one season of starting.
And all reactions are, what's the word for them? They're over the top.
Yep.
When it works, it's unbelievable, and when it doesn't work, the other side will come out. And even though he threw that touchdown in overtime last week, after this game, there will be a lot of people going, well, there you go.
Yep.
See, when you play him straight up, look what happens.
And here's what we were talking about. So this marks number 16, 9-6. Coming into the 7 of those 9 wins. He trailed or was tied in the fourth quarter and went on to win it in regulation or overtime.
All these other guys up there, Jim, you show, they're all Super Bowl MVPs. But
we talked to Tebow about how much whatever's going to happen on Saturday night, what the offseason's going to be like, getting a whole year to work with the coaching staff as the Denver starter. Didn't have that luxury this year with the lockout. Very eager to have that full off season.
Oh, he got more excited about that than playing the game when you asked him.
I know, it sounded like he was ready to begin.
I can't wait. I'm going to get coached. I'm going to fix a few things. And of course they will. They've been working hard with him. Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator, give him credit. They designed a new offense here right mid-season for the Denver Broncos. And at times it worked very well. And there's no doubt in my mind that this is a big setback, but they're going to march forward next year with Tim Tebow at quarterback.
Brady's still in there, and Green Ellis for no gain. Going back to the line of scrimmage. It's Marcus Thomas at the bottom of that pile.
And of course, you know, Jim, they're not going to huddle the New England Patriots.
This mark has a very strong chance of going down here tonight. Largest margin of victory in the postseason. And Welker with a rare drop. Chris Harris on the coverage.
You know, that's the one thing going forward next week, no matter who the New England Patriots play, I'll be interested to see how they view the offense. What do they do? I said it to you. It was unthinkable to think you'd go into a game against this offense and single cover Wes Welker. But with the 2 tight ends, New England almost forces you where you have to.
We'll be hosting next Sunday, Houston or Baltimore. They're down for New England, and Brady steps away from the pressure and hits Gronkowski another time. Good for 20 and a first down.
Well, as the game goes on, when you watch the Patriots play, that time, pretty quick pressure, but Tom Brady, we've seen it so many times, great footwork in the pocket.
Now running with it. With a flag thrown in, Aaron Hernandez. Might be a face mask call on Jason Hunter. By the way, that throw to Gronkowski, as Deion Branch is a little slow to get up. Put Brady over 300 yards on the night. Surprisingly, first time he's ever had
personal
300.
foul, face mask. Defense, number 90, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
First time over 300 in the postseason here at Gillette Stadium. It was an obvious face mask reach in on Hunter.
You know, I understand keeping Tom Brady in the game. I thought they'd at least keep him into the fourth quarter. But just me, I would not give the football to Aaron Hernandez out of the backfield again.
Hernandez had some knee issues early in the year. Had a sprain that kept him out a couple of times. Welker, that middle, wide open. Picks up 9. Final minute of the third quarter.
Denver's just hoping, hey, I hope the clock keeps moving. There's no way out of this. You better play hard.
Help him go.
2nd and 1, and Brady for the second time is able to drive it across.
Okay. He reads the quarterback sneak. It's an automatic. What he does, he goes behind the double teams. It's an audible watch. See this right guard? That's Brian Waters and the center Connor. They get the double team. Tom Brady gets low so nobody can come over the top and hit him in the head, of course. Good play.
That's the end of the third quarter. New England 42. And Denver 10 will return after this message and a word from your local station. It's been a stomping here tonight at Gillette Stadium as the fourth quarter commences. Brady and the Patriots on the Denver side yet again. 42-10, Jim Nantz, Bill Sims here to call it. Deion Branch is back into the lineup. He was a little gimpy earlier in this half. There's a pass to Gronkowski. He pulls it in again. Brady lobbed that one over the top, and it's a catch. Brady took something off that throw. It was a beauty, and Gronkowski has him set up, goal to go.
Yeah, look at it. Another perfect spiral, right on target, drop it over the top. Tom Brady and Gronkowski threw about 10 of those in practice the other day just for that situation.
Now those hands. Here's Hernandez. Ball's out, by the way. And Mays knocked it loose. Connolly fell on it.
You know, I always say, you got to do it in practice first. Don't tell me you're a gamer. Oh, it's magic turns on game day. No. You watch the... There goes Aaron Hernandez out.
He took a shot there.
Yeah,
You've been saying don't play him in running back anymore, but this game...
We could hear it.
Well out of reach. Now you wonder, let's just set this up. Do you go for the record alone? You got the playoff record with 6 touchdown throws.
Well, you know, I honestly look at Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien. I don't think they're thinking about... They're just playing the game. So whatever play they got for this situation they think is going to work, that's the one they're going to call.
So timeout New England. A minute into the fourth quarter. They're ready to go in again. Coming out of a New England timeout, Matthew Slater has come into the game. And Marcus Cannon, a backup lineman, number 61, lined up on that right side. 2nd and goal, and they back up Green Ellis. A couple. Brady with 349 yards passing and 6 touchdowns and has not been sacked once.
You said it earlier. It's a new day and age in the NFL. I was watching the first game, said Drew Brees going to throw it 70 times. I don't know if he made it. It was close.
Coming off the first negative play of the night for New England, Danny Woodhead looked like he might sprint to the goal line. But the Broncos close in on him at the 2 with Ryan McBean. So now 4th and goal. And they're going to bring out Gostowski. The first points in AFL history ever scored by the Boston Patriots. A field goal against Denver by Gino Cappelletti, who's here tonight calling the game for the Patriot Radio Network. Gostowski with the field goal on this occasion. Good from 20. 45-10. Steven Gostowski getting a lot of work in tonight. Kickoff duty, extra points, and now a field goal. This is a beauty. Unreturnable again. Tight ends. What a season it's been for the Patriots. Gronkowski and Hernandez together.
Oh, you know, Jim, what they did tonight, Hernandez has carried the football this year, but this was brought to a new level. So if you want to match up and say, oh, I'll cover Hernandez, you cover Gronkowski and Wes Welker, well, where are they going to line up? How are you going to double cover him when he's coming out of the backfield?
That's a gift to Lance Ball. Back to those tight ends.
Yeah.
It's the first time ever that a tight end duo had over 900 yards apiece in receiving yards in the season. In fact, no one had ever had a tandem that went over 800. And I'm still wondering about Hernandez getting hurt perhaps in that carry inside the 5. Only one time was another duo over 700. The 79 Raiders with Dave Casper and Raymond Chester. So it's been record territory all year for those two. Deflected at the line.
It was good. It was deflected because it was well covered down the field. Tim Tebow, penetration, that's what hurts. Oh my gosh, and Brandon Spikes, well, you talked about his college buddy. Look at that, getting to him, knocks it down. Nobody open down the field.
Tebow 5 out of 17 for 61 yards, coming off a 316 against Pittsburgh. And that's Thomas with the catch against a Pittsburgh defense that statistically was #1 in the league this year.
Well, they did some things out of character, Jim. They gambled, which they're a defense that usually doesn't. And those gambles,
they lost Kiesel and Hampton in that game too.
Injuries were a huge part of the game too, no doubt.
Tebow with 6 completions now versus Brady's 6 touchdown throws. And yet another negative play, and again stirring it up is Spikes for a loss of 5. You ever seen this many negative plays in one game?
No, I have not. And Brandon Spikes will not throw the remote control at the TV. If he watches a replay of it, look at the penetration, the swarming defense. And we talked about it, really, of all the games we've done to the Patriots this year, this is as healthy as I've seen this football team.
To have Spikes, to have Chung, among others, back. Tebow, pass. It's back to Thomas, who was a good-looking second-year player. Drafted a year ago in the first round was Demaryius Thomas. He was the first receiver taken in that 2010 draft with a pick that originally belonged to the Patriots, the 22nd overall pick of that draft.
Well, he's fought injuries for 2 years. He got healthy. He told us this year, the Detroit game, Tim Tebow's second start, when he finally said, I'm ready to go play. He shows it. Good speed, good size. Great future in front of him.
And third down is here again. Tebow has good chemistry with Thomas, as you saw last week. Thomas with the 4 grabs for 204 yards, a Denver postseason record. That's 14 more and a first. Well, you'll have plenty to talk about come Wednesday night. For more than 30 years, the must-see show the pros watch. JB, Chris and Warren will join you inside the NFL. Plus, Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson will be in there. Mike Lombardi, Jeremiah Johnson here. And that's Ehedibo at the 44 meeting him.
Let me just respond to that. Do you think I ever have to search for something to talk about?
And I know better than that.
So the subjects are, there's many. So it's a lot of fun. I don't know if there'll be much debate about this game, that's for sure.
Brady, his night might be complete. As we have 9 minutes to go. Who will it be next week to face this Patriot bunch? Peaking at the right time. 2nd and 6. Will it be Houston or will it be Baltimore? The Texans, of course, in their first ever postseason, a win over Cincinnati last week. Baltimore had the week off. And that's tomorrow, 1 o'clock, with the noon special edition of the NFL Today. JB and the crew.
Well, you know what we saw here today? We saw a rested Patriots team, eager, wanting to play, knew this was another chance to finally do what they want. And I see the same thing when I look at the Baltimore Ravens. Finally, a home playoff game.
Over to Thomas, and incomplete with Arrington out there covering him. McCourty sliding over from safety. AFC Championship preview as far as matchups against the Ravens. That postseason loss 2 years ago right here. Rice ran wild. 2-1 all time against Houston. And they lost the last meeting the last week of the regular season 2009, the game that Welker went out with injury down in Houston.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
4th down here for the Broncos. Tebow stays behind the line and finds his man. It's Thomas who spins away from the Patriot defenders and takes it all the way down to the 2.
Tebow's pass complete to Demaryius Thomas.
You know, we said early in the game, Jim, sometimes the worst thing you can do to Tim Tebow is flush him out of the pocket, because then he becomes instinctive, throws the football. It's always to his left if you notice. He's going to find a way to break left, and probably the best thing he does this early in his career, throwing the football on the run.
What a block by Lance Ball. That's the biggest play of the night for Denver, 41 yards. Football's at the 3. 1st and goal, and a timeout by Denver. 7:39 to play in this one. And still looking in on the owner's box, and Robert Kraft among his other guests. Senator Kerry is back there next to Bon Jovi. Here we go with the Broncos. And 1st and goal. And an empty backfield. Tebow rolling out with it and fires it incomplete in the area of Rosario.
Well, I guess I can talk about that play now. I've been watching them practice it for 5 weeks. They're down inside. Of course, it's not going to have the same effect. They're faking the power run. You see Holstein, the right guard, pulling out, but the Patriots all over it, man-to-man defense.
And again, I remind everybody of that stat we talked about in the first half. All season long, Tebow inside the 10, 2 completions. 2, but both went for touchdowns. And this one's incomplete. Again, it's batted in the air. This time Mark Anderson got a paw on it.
Well, it's a unique formation they have here. 4 receivers to Tebow's right, 1 to the left. The defense goes to the 4 receivers. He has one-on-one, but a good job knocking it down by Anderson.
Well, Anderson's really come on this year for him.
Yeah, he's
former Bear.
Yep.
And they lost Andre Carter. That was a big loss for them in the game out at Denver, in fact.
That's right. Mark Anderson came in that game, played very well.
Had 2 sacks, forced fumble recovery.
Big key tonight. He was part of stopping that option all night long.
3rd and goal. Ball shifts into the backfield. Tebow keeps. Tebow's chased. Tebow desperate to throw it away. And again, it was Mark Anderson who was creating that for the Patriots defense.
You know, Jim, I think this is a run all the way. He's going to run it inside. They're going to fake the give to the left. He's going to go right. There's nowhere to go. But none of the offensive linemen really, as I see him, maybe it was a fake. He could have. I didn't see him really fire off and try to get a block down the field.
One more try. connected on 1 4th down to move it on this series. Can they do it here? 4th and goal. No. They do not sack him. And that's Ellis giving a stab at it. Now Tebow throws, and it's incomplete. A wild chase that ends in an incompletion. The series ends at the 3-yard line. It was Ellis. It was Ninkovich chasing after Tebow. After all that, 75 yards in all to Thomas. Love bats it down, and the Broncos do not score from 3 yards away.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon, the exclusive carrier of the Galaxy Nexus by Samsung. And by Subway. Start the year right with Egg White Morning Melts.
Belichick, once the season's over, there's still time to hit a few primaries and make a run to next fall to next November.
I just want to see him in a debate. That would be interesting.
Man, a few words.
Haven't you asked that question before?
Running for president?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he'd say to him.
Oh, yeah.
We've heard that question. We answered that yesterday. Yeah. We discussed that. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we talked about that policy. Next question.
I know the score. You look at this game, I'll guarantee you that he'll find things in it that he was unhappy with. He'll preach it to his team, and they will march on. It will not be sit back and look at what we did. They'll be back to work tomorrow thinking about the next opponent.
As Brady remains in 2nd and 12 from the end zone, he's got Deion Branch, who was dragged down. Was that a face mask? Yeah, that was Raheem Moore. A horse collar, I believe, is what it was.
No, I think he just guessing he grabbed the back of the helmet.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle.
Okay.
Defense, number 26.
Horse collar.
15-yard penalty, automatic.
Gain of 14 plus 15 more.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Jim. Good eyes. He pulls him down from behind. When a player's in the open field and you grab him like that and you pull him down, that is going to be the horse collar. It's a good call, good example of it. And it is very dangerous. You can see why they call it a penalty. You pull that runner as he's going full speed, pull him down from behind like that, it's a good chance of injury.
Tom Brady, 363 yards now, a career high for the postseason.
25! White 20, white!
And Green Ellis, patient enough to pick up yardage.
How about that?
His best run of the night, fighting for a 10-yard gain. It should be about 9.5.
Well, I think as we look at this 5 minutes ago, Bill Belichick, it's the old school approach. We just play. We play the whole game, so he's not taking Tom Brady out yet, still throwing the football.
Raheem Moore is down, another Bronco injured in the game. 6 years ago tonight, partner, we were doing this exact same matchup. On January the 14th, 2006, it was New England at Denver. That was the Champ Bailey 100-yard return game where he was chased down at the end of the field by Benjamin Watson. And Brady came into that game having never lost in the postseason. He was 10-0, and the Broncos handed him that night his first ever playoff loss. And it was Bailey who made the big play. And here they are still on the field 6 years later. But this one is going the other way in a very decisive manner.
White 20, white!
That's good for a first down. Here's the play.
Yeah, and here comes Ben Watson. Hustled all the way down the field and made that tackle on Champ Bailey.
It was one of 5 giveaways on the night for New England, and for the Broncos, that was their last playoff win until last Sunday. So Polite picks up the first down. Osaka Polite, a late season signee, former Cowboy. And Green Ellis jammed after 2.
You know, you talk about, Tom Brady being in and all that, Jim. You know, a lot of times you keep this and you keep mixing it up. And here's the reason why. Because if you're on the offensive side and you just pronounce to the defense, well, we're going to just run the clock out, run the ball, that defense is going to come flying up there, and you got a greater chance for injury. So you make them play on us by giving them a little diversion and throwing the football every once in a while, and it's safer for your team.
Well, when they had that season, it looked like it was going to be the perfect season after beating San Diego here in the AFC title game, their last playoff win before tonight. They won a lot of games by blowout margins, and Brady never came out of those games back in the 07 season.
Well, that was a good example right there. You know, they ran the football, and that defense, everybody just teed off. And
here's a few of the records that have been set or tied this evening. The points scored, a Patriot record, total yards. And Brady, of course, with the 6, Gronkowski with the 3.
Ryan.
And Brady's calling a timeout.
good timeout. They were going to blitz.
Brady's calling a timeout.
Good timeout. They were going to blitz. Didn't want to take the chance.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show. James Brown, Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, and Coach Cowher. We'll have the wrap-up of today's action, plus all the latest playoff news. We'll tee you up a little bit, too, for the Texans and the Ravens. All coming up on the Subway postgame show. So, San Francisco advances to the NFC title game, and we'll play the winner of Green Bay and the New York Giants. And San Francisco, that was Brady's childhood team. He used to go watch him play as a kid. He was in the stands for the catch game.
How about that job by Alex Smith today? Coming, just everything. The way he played. Late in the game, those 2 final scores, we got a chance to watch them just before we came on the air, and boy, all the doubt in his career.
How about the fact we got 6 teams still alive now after tonight, and we got 2 Harbaughs still in the mix. And look at this. Punting it is Brady. And he's going to love this. Quick kick by the quarterback. And we got a skirmish going on here. Ayers and Light and others. Dave Belichick's in the mix there, just trying to separate everyone.
Well, sure, he doesn't want one of his players to get suspended or something happen that could affect their game next week.
Champ Bailey was one of the last on the ground. Robert Ayers. And that will start it right there.
Yeah.
That's Von Miller in the back of Connolly.
Yeah.
And Light said, hey, what are you doing?
Wow.
And now Waters comes over. You got 4 of the offensive linemen there for the Patriots.
I'll tell you this, Von Miller might have started it, but it didn't end well.
No.
He took a lot of big shots. And, you know, that was bad. I mean, that was terrible on his part.
After the foul, there are 2 plays, both on the receiving team. Personal foul, defense number 9, or receiving team 91 is declined. Also personal foul, receiving team number 58. Penalties half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10, Denver.
Gene Steratore, he is a good one, boy. He is decisive, too. He is in control of the game. There was a little sportsmanship at the other end.
I do like this punt. Don't put your quarterback in jeopardy. 3rd down, don't let him get hit on the blitz. We've seen this quick kick from Tom Brady before.
DJ Williams.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right. Brady got a little chuckle out of that.
Yeah.
making it play. This time Dane Fletcher comes up to make the stick. Houston and Baltimore. Arian Foster. Ray Rice. That Houston defense that Wade Phillips has sculpted into a good one this year, even without Mario Williams and D'Amico Ryans.
Look, everything they've done in Houston, Gary Kubiak, that organization, they have built a team that's going to be, it's deep, and I think they'll be around for the next 5 years.
And ball out to the 12. On Brady and Bill Belichick. This is going to be their 15th win in the postseason. The most all-time by a coach-quarterback tandem. They came in tied all-time with Nolan Bradshaw, but they'll set the record tonight in #1 all-time postseason. Post-game show, JB Dan, Shannon Boomer, Coach Coward. Final word on today's divisional playoff action. Subway post-game show, 3rd down and 3. And the pile is moved by Lance Ball for a first down. And for those of you, the doubters out there, and there are quite a few of you who've just been waiting to seize a moment like this when Tebow and the Broncos would fall flat. Let me caution you. This is a kid that's been through this kind of adversity, beat the doubters many times, whether it was at Nice High School when he played for Coach Craig Howard, a downtrodden high school football program and really had no history and led them to a state championship. Or he came to Florida and people said he couldn't get it done, but he did. Won a couple of national championships. Just a first-year starter. He had Denver in the postseason for the first time in a long time.
Well, that's right. You know, Jim, no matter what you say, he's the biggest reason, the main reason the Broncos turned their football season around. And we talked about it. He can't wait for the offseason. And I think everybody is going to sit back and judge him one more time by how much improvement they see when preseason comes around next year.
And that's Jeremiah Johnson, by the way. This Denver bunch will be coming back to New England next year. You know, the opponent's schedule is already out, not the dates of the games next year, but Denver will be here next year to play New England in the regular season, and that is going to close it out. A game that was over at halftime. That last 2-minute stretch of the first half put it away. Brady with the 5 first-half touchdown throws, adding another one in the second half. Tebow ends up 9 of 26 for 136 yards. When he met Brady at midfield 4 weeks ago, Brady said, "We're going to meet again. I got this feeling." What he didn't tell him at the time is, "I'm going to be at my very best when I see you that next time."
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tom Brady made some of the as good of throws as we've ever seen him make. Very sharp throwing the football. The offense clicked at so many levels. The diversity, all the different plays. Aaron Hernandez at running back. Well, it was a tough day to try to defend this offense.
Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator for the Broncos. The Spikes with a hug with Tebow on the night where it came together. The two of them saying long ago that there's going to be a stage sometime. It's going to come time. We're going to have a matchup in the NFL. Ninkovich, who had a huge start to this game, too. Let's go down to Steve Tasker.
I'm standing here with Gronkowski and Tom Brady. You guys, people have been criticizing the Patriots. You haven't won a playoff game since 2007. What's it feel like to come out and hang 45 points up, throw for 6 touchdowns and over 300 yards, 3 of them to this guy?
Well, the skill guys had a great day. The offensive line blocked great, so there was good execution. I think there's definitely things that we could have done better, but it's good to get a win. I mean, they've been hot, they've been playing well, and you know, we came in and we started fast, and it was a big win for us.
How does this set you up for the rest of the way? I know you guys, you got one goal in mind, that's a championship. How does this set you up for next week's game?
you know, it sounds rhetorical, but it's one game season. I mean, it's all about next week, and whoever we play, they're going to be, they'll have earned it, and they'll be here. They'll be a great team, and we'll have to play our best.
Our guy Phil Simms said he's never seen you throw it better. How does the arm feel?
Feels great. Feels great. I appreciate it from Phil. He's one of my favorites. So
good luck next week. I appreciate it. Let me talk to the big man over here. Gronk, 3 touchdowns, and a couple of them were pretty nice catches. How's it feel? I mean, this is a big game for you. Talk a little bit about it.
Yes, so it's definitely a big game. It's a one-game season. We came out, we played well. The offense played great. The whole defense was playing great. We were playing complementary football, and it was awesome. Everyone played good, including the O-line, which is huge.
Now, this came in, you'd played this team back in week 15. How did that game set you up to have some success tonight?
I mean, we just obviously watched that game and stuff, and it's a whole new game. That was in the last month and everything. We knew we had to come out and execute. We knew we had to play all 4 quarters, and both the defense and offense played well, and that's what you got to do.
Well, there's a game tomorrow in the AFC over on the other side of the bracket. You cheering for either one of those teams, the Ravens or the Texans?
Not really. I mean, whoever wins. That's who our opponent will be, and we got to have a good practice week coming up this week, and we got to be ready.
Now, one more. Your compatriot over there, Hernandez, came out with a little bit of a head injury. Talk a little bit about how you two play off each other. He was carrying the ball out of the backfield tonight. How's he feeling?
Yes, he's feeling great. Hernandez is a beast. Love playing with him and everything, and we just can't wait to get out to practice together and get back out there together this week.
Great game tonight. Thanks for being here. Good luck the rest of the way.
He calls Hernandez a beast. And he's not the only one. Gronkowski with those crazy numbers tonight, 10 catches and 3 touchdowns. The Patriots are heading to the AFC title game. They'll take on the Ravens or the Texans. It'll be the 6th AFC title game for the Brady-Belichick combination. 45-10 is your final score. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. For Phil and Steve, Jim Nance saying so long from Foxborough. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. James Brown in New York is next.